Hey, welcome back to the Bullish Money YouTube and multimedia channel. I have some connections. I'm not bragging about it, but I have some connections with the movie industry, and those connections allow me some benefits. And one of those benefits is that I'm able to watch premieres of new movies for free and just enjoy myself and take a look at movies before they hit the mainstream, so to speak, on typically on a Friday night. So I just got done watching the new Planet of the Apes movie, and I was pleasantly surprised. Now, typically these big Hollywood summer blockbusters are a lot of hype and really lacking in substance. They lack either in the storyline or the characterizations, the plot development, or the character development. A lot of the fundamental aspects of good storytelling is often missing in these big Hollywood blockbusters. But I felt that Planet of the Apes was an engaging story. I thought that every aspect of the movie itself, from the storyline and from how the film develops and how it moves the story along, as well as the in-depth character development. I thought it was all done very well. And what I appreciate about this movie is that even though it's the third part of a three-part trilogy, that you don't necessarily have to watch parts 2 and 1 to understand the story. Now, if you've watched the entire series, obviously it makes a lot more sense. However, you don't have to have a tremendous amount of background information in order to get real caught up with the story. There are some, I don't know if you would really call them Easter eggs, but there are elements from the prior films that are represented in this current film. So it helps to, if you've watched the previous films, it helps to establish some of the background stories that the current film sort of not glosses over, but sort of has to get over pretty quickly in order to stay relevant with the current storylines. So there are that aspects of it, but again, overall, if you've never watched a Planet of the Apes movie, you can watch this last part of the trilogy, and you will feel very comfortable. You'll know exactly what's going on, and all of the major fundamental plot lines are represented without having to have a strong background or even any background with the other films. Overall, again, a very enjoyable film. Again, I was very pleasantly surprised. If there was one criticism, the movie could be a little bit shorter, so they probably could cut out certain things, and that's more of something that the editing department will have to deal with, and that's more of the production team. But the acting, the story, how the story moved, I thought excellent job all around. The only criticism I have, again, it's a pretty long movie, and a lot of these movies that are coming out they exceed the 2-hour mark. For me, unless the story is truly engaging and is just truly deserves that length of time, I'm not too big on 2-hour, 2.5-hour movies. That's kind of pushing it. For me, I'd like to keep it under 2 hours if possible. Around hour and 45 minutes would be ideal. But again, that's just a minor complaint. This is a pleasantly surprising movie. So if you had to pick a movie, a summer blockbuster to watch, I would highly recommend Planet of the Apes. There's also a lot of subtle motifs throughout the film that if you are paying attention, not just paying attention to the dramatic scenery and all that, but actually paying attention to some of the subtle character undertones I think there's a lot of sociological implications behind the film that, like a subtle motif that is a communication that's being sent to the audience, at least the audience that's actually thinking about these things. So whether you enjoy it as a summer blockbuster or you like a smart film, an intelligent film, there are elements for everybody to enjoy. And for those who are parents and want to know if this is appropriate for younger children, I would say probably not, but rest assured that this film does not celebrate grotesque violence. So there are violent elements, of course, because this is a epic war film, so there's going to be some violence. But it's not over-the-top violence. Right now there's this celebration of violence, the Tarantino-style realistic violence and the over dramatic display of blood and gore. That's not this kind of film. Okay, that's not what this. That's not the message that this film is going for. Yes, there are violent elements, but it's done in a very classy way. So if your younger kids are more mature, they should be able to handle it. It's nothing. You will not find any gross out depictions in this film. So I would say overall something for everyone. So again, the new Planet of the Apes movie, I highly recommend it.